What's going on, people? And I've left it a couple days on purpose because the immediate after effect of losing the final, obviously football has not come home. Bonucci rubbing it in the camera saying football's come in Rome after he scored, and we had the game there to win it, and we let ourselves down. 1-0 up, great start, beautiful finish from Shaw, good pick out from Trippier. First half I thought we were the better team and deserved to be 1-0 up. And then second half, Italy, even though they didn't create a whole ton of things, they were still more dominant with possession and just nearly creating things. Going into extra time, again, the better team than us. Despite not creating a lot, they were still better than us. The fact that we go 1-0 up and we go back to that tactic of defending for our lives and putting men behind the ball that we've always done since I've been alive, and it's never worked, yet we keep going back to it. Security FC, as I've said, and people are saying we should be proud of the boys, and Southgate and Kane saying like the players should hold their heads up high. And yes, we saw progression in this tournament, beating the Germans, getting through that semi-final hurdle and barrier that we haven't been able to do, and we got to a final. But that means nothing to me now as a fan, because we failed. And we've got a problem in this country of celebrating failure. It's not... You get medals for partaking and participating, but why are we celebrating runners-up? That's the wrong mentality. As I said, you get to a final to win it. You don't get to a final to go 1-0 up and then go Security FC and hold on for your life and hope that you can get to penalties and hope that you can win. People are saying penalties are luck of the draw and it's a 50-50. But there's a weird stat of like we've won like 2 out of 10 that we've been involved in. That's not a toss of the coin and a luck. Do you know what I mean? If it was luck, it'd be around 50% of ones we've won and ones we've lost. Yet, it's not. It's like 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 9 that we've won. And that's simply not good enough. And that says to me it's the mentality, what I've been going on about the whole time through this tournament. I predicted it would be 1-1 in the game, which it was, and it'd go to extra time, which it did. But I did predict us to win on penalties because I believed as this tournament went on that the players were growing in confidence, and I believed that they could deliver. And they can't. They obviously can't because they've bottled it. Southgate's bottled it and the players have bottled it. I'm not blaming it all on Southgate and I'm not blaming it all on the players. They both have to be accountable. I think Southgate left the subs too late again. Went for safer options with defensive players. Brought Rashford on to take a penalty when he hasn't played, and he shouldn't have even been going to the tournament because he's clearly injured still. Sancho coming on for a penalty when he hasn't had time to get warmed up in the game. That's on Southgate. But then, even though I'm saying that, people are like, it's hard to come on and take a penalty when you haven't been playing in the game itself, which to a certain extent I get. But at the same time, you're a professional athlete. You're paid to deliver in these high-pressure situations and moments. And they didn't do that. The selections for penalty takers... Grealish is saying that he said that he would take one, but Southgate didn't go with him, obviously. And if that is the case, Southgate got that majorly wrong, because I feel like Luke Shaw should have took a penalty. I would have kept Trippier on to take a penalty because he's experienced, and I think he would have scored. Kane, he took a penalty. I would have kept Kane as one. But Sterling's the major one for me. Even if he's not a natural penalty taker, he scored one in the cup, I believe, to help them for Man City win a cup. So he can do it, but I don't know if he even offered himself to take one. Sterling has to take one of the first 3 or 4 penalties for me, and he doesn't. And as good as a tournament he had and he was delivering in games, he didn't step up when it really counted. Now, whether that's on Southgate or Sterling, we don't really know because we don't know the ins and outs unless you're inside and got inside information. But Sterling, for me, has to be one of them at least 4 first players to take a penalty. And he's nowhere to be seen. Sancho and Rashford should not be taking penalties for me. Or if they are, they shouldn't be the first few to take them. Everyone's getting at Saka for the being the ultimate decider of the penalty that knocked us out, basically. But the boy had a fantastic tournament when he was involved. And and he stood up and took one. Yes, he missed, but he's kind of been the scapegoat along with Sancho and Rashford. I can understand Sancho and Rashford a little bit more, but not in terms of the racism and the racist abuse that them three have been getting online for the penalty misses. That didn't even enter my mind when I'm watching it. I'm disappointed in the fact that they've missed the penalties, but not because of the colour of their skin. But I think Saka especially has been getting criticism that I just don't understand, because he had a fantastic tournament, and unlike Sterling, he stood up and took a penalty. Now, as I said, I don't know if that's down to Sterling not offering himself to take one, or if he did offer and Southgate just said, nah, you can go later, which I don't get. If Southgate's done that, that's on Southgate. But at the end of the day, I just don't get why we celebrate failure like this. We don't get to a final to celebrate becoming runners-up. You got a participation medal and participation trophy. Why are we celebrating that? That's not good enough. That's not what winners do. That's what losers do. And I think as a nation, we've got a problem with that. Yes, they delivered getting to a final, but what point is it if you're not going to win it? It's pointless now. For me, I enjoyed the tournament, but it ended on a sour note, a very sour note, because yes, they may have exceeded expectations, but once you're in the final, you've got to go and win it. And we had all the advantages in the world. We had the stadium. I think Italy only had about 6,000 fans. We had the penalty shootout in our end of the stadium where our fans were. And we still can't deliver. We're 1-0 up. We still can't deliver and get through and win the game without going to extra time and penalties. And Spinazzola's out for Italy, who was their best player in the tournament. All these advantages, and we still can't take advantage of it and win it and complete the journey. So people are saying we'll come good again with the World Cup next year, and this set of players are going to go on and achieve. How are we going to achieve if we can't achieve in our own backyard with all these advantages? We now have to go and play in other countries for World Cups and other European Championships, where we don't have the home advantage, where we don't have all them fans, where we don't have certain players. We might have certain players out for other teams that are a threat, but we've proven that we can't take advantage of that. So yes, it's progression in terms of beating the Germans and getting through that semi-final barrier. But to me now, it's just pointless because we've got to the final and we didn't win it. And it's just, we bottled it. I don't care what people have got to say. I put this on social media, on Facebook, in some England groups I'm in. Got nothing but a barrage of abuse straight away because people can't handle the truth. I'm getting labelled a keyboard warrior because I'm saying the truth. I'm a keyboard warrior. Okay. I left the groups because I'm getting a barrage of abuse because people can't accept the truth. I'm not saying don't be proud of the players for where they got, but what are you saying? Because you're saying to me you're celebrating failure. You're celebrating coming runners up, participation trophies. I'm not interested in that. That's what separates Italy, usually Germany, France, usually, Portugal, usually. Yes, we got further than a lot of them this tournament, but we've proven that we've bottled it in the final. It's nearly 60 years now, guys, since we've won something. 60 years. It's like 5 years, I believe. 4 or 5 years. And it'll be 60 years. I think it's currently 55 since we've won something, which was 1966. I'm not interested that we got to the final now. What good is that? Because we didn't win it. You've let me down. And people are saying you should be proud, hold your heads up high. But if you say that, you're telling them that it's all right to fail and it's all right to get to a final and lose. Nah. You've got to get to the final and win it because that's what you're remembered for. So, to me, yes, we got a step further. It's the furthest I've ever seen us get, but it's still a failure. And people can't handle that, and people can't handle the truth. But I feel sorry for Harry Maguire as well. I thought he was superb, him and John Stones in the game. And his penalty, Maguire, at the end, fantastic. Top corner, broke the camera in the goal as well. I felt for him especially, though, because I watched him in the Europa League final as well with United against Villarreal. He was in tears, and he's lost that one, and he's lost this one for England. And he stepped up and performed on that night. And several others let him down. He won't say that because he'll want to keep the morale in the team and confidence for other players. But the fact is we failed, guys. It hasn't come home. And now everyone that was praising the boys like that beforehand, saying we were going to win it all, you look like absolute fools. We can't keep embracing failure. and participation trophies. That's not what winners, and that's not how you're remembered. You're remembered as winning something. And for me, it's very disappointing. I'll be glad when a new season starts, because over time it will ease. But I'm not going to forget this, because it's just another failure. Yes, we got to the final, but we've got nothing to show for it. So I'm disappointed. I'm angry. I'm upset. But I'm not surprised, because as I was saying, all the mentality thing, and it's proven again, we can't handle it when it gets to penalties. Even if we'd have played France or Portugal or Germany in this tournament, even though we got further than them, if one of them teams were replacing Italy in this final and it went to penalties, we would have lost. And that is a problem. 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 9. Not good enough, and it's a huge problem. And our players can't deal with it mentally, and that's what separates winners and losers. It's not just physical. A lot of it is mentality, and we've got a huge problem with it. But I'll be back soon, guys, with another football video. But that was disappointing, and the tournament's ended on a sour note. Football is not coming home.